guys. We're back with another edition of Holy Hills for Teens. It's been a really long time, but we're back this week and we have a topic, and our topic for this week is humility. So, to start things off, we're just going to talk about, what humility is, like the definition, what it means to you guys. So, what is humility to you guys?
Let me start off.
Okay, Rachel.
Humility, it in itself has the word humble. That's where I think humility comes from. To be humble. Yeah. So to be humble, first of all, is to bring yourself not bring yourself down, but like let's say humble yourself basically. And also not think of yourself too highly above others. And
basically what Rachel said, and to not be prideful and to kind of be grateful.
Yeah, I'll say freeing yourself from pride.
Like summed up mixing one. So like being humble and like respectful and just not like avoiding pride and being like over, like over showy. So
we should probably touch more bases on humbling yourself and how to do so.
Yeah.
I think ways to humble yourself and is like to respect God and respect His commandments and do your Christianly duties and make sure that you're doing everything that you need to do.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you with humbling yourself. Because a lot of in the Bible it does say to humble yourself and God will lift you up or whatever. So I think touching more on humility, you basically don't think too highly of yourself, and basically like I think it's another thing a respect for God too, because I think when it comes to pridefulness, some people think they're above everything else, and sometimes even God. So like it's a basis of humbling yourself and not thinking too highly.
Yeah, and I would say like not being selfish and think about other people for once instead of think about yourself all the time.
Yeah. So like okay, the word humility, like you said, it has humble in it. So like when you think about having humility or being like having humility, you think of being humble and respectful, and you think about being like acting in the way that God would want you to act, which is like respectful and humble, and just like not in a way that would make you seem like you're, I don't know how to explain it, like not
above others.
Yeah.
Well, I have an example of some like not a scenario, but like more so an example. The devil thought like kind of highly of himself, and God brought him down. So if you feel like you're like above, I guess like you'll be brought down. Well, I don't really know how to like put it into.
I think that's
I
true.
was trying to say, yeah.
Because it's not really good to like think that you're above everyone and better than everybody, and think that basically like you're number one, because you're really not. So it's important to humble yourself.
Okay.
I think another thing is that being comfortable in your own like flesh and knowing who you are yourself before you try to act above other people, because if let's say you're talking about somebody, you have to know yourself first before you go out and judge other people.
Right. I think like humility also has to do with like being like down to earth and like grounding yourself and like setting like some type of like moral. So it's like I know this and I know like what's right, and maybe it's not like okay, I know this, I know what's right, so I'm like I'm better than everyone, but it's like I know how to comport myself, and I know how to be humble, and I know how to like not act towards other people. So I think that humility also like along with being humble has to do with grounding yourself and like being down to earth.
I think that's true.
Do we have any scriptures?
Well, in the Bible, it says, "If all my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. So, what does that mean to you guys?
I feel like it's God telling us to be humble and to be full of humility, simply just by Him saying that He will hear us when we are humble and we listen to Him.
That's true.
I think so. And I think it's also saying, like, if you humble yourself, there will kind of be like a reward for you in the end. And I feel like the reward will be like your step, or you're like a step closer into getting into heaven because that's something that you're doing right. And I feel like if you want to humble yourself, like one way to do so is to kind of be respectful and just be mindful of the people around you. And
Yeah.
I feel like in today's world, like I'm not saying like all celebrities, but like just like people in general, like some people, like they don't have, like they're not humble, they don't really have respect for a lot of other people, and so they do the opposite, and they're like flamboyant and they show off and they're prideful and they boast about themselves, and like you see how these people act, and it's like, okay, so how would someone who isn't Christian like know like how to act? Like how would they see that? You guys get what I'm trying to say?
Can you repeat something?
can you repeat the last part?
So like, okay, people like they show themselves off and they like boast about themselves, they brag, and someone who isn't like a Christian would see that. Like how do you think they would take that? Like do you think they would say they're doing too much, or they'd say
if
like,
the person is boastful, if the person that's boastful is a Christian?
No, I'm saying like what if someone like
that is a Christian
isn't a Christian, like were to see that,
How
would
would
they
they react?
say
How
like,
would they react?
like would they like, do you think they'd be like, okay, that's doing too much, or I should do that too, because like, you know, they don't know God or anything like that. They don't know about being humble.
With the way our generation is set up, I feel like it can go either or, but a lot of people will probably be like, oh, since celebrities do this and this, I can do that too. Because a lot of people nowadays look up to celebrities, and whatever trend like a celebrity is doing, they're going to follow along in that too. So I feel like some will follow, but then the wiser ones would be like, oh, they're doing too much.
Yeah.
Like adding on to what Myra said, which type of person would you be? Like, would you be the person that says they're doing too much, or the a person that'll like follow along?
Doing too much. So
Doing too much, yeah.
Personally, I'm the person who be doing too much. So I don't know.
Me too.
I really do be doing too much. So if Beyonce, not Beyonce, I don't even like her like that. Okay, let's just say Beyonce.
Let's just use an example.
But let's just say Beyonce's walking around the street and holding up a sign saying, I'm beautiful or something, and running around the neighborhood saying that or something like that. Oh, something like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If she was holding up a sign saying, who run the world, girls, whatever, I don't know. I'd probably do something like that. But that's doing a lot. But
you would do something like that?
I do too much.
I wouldn't.
So, like when I don't know, like bringing that back to like humility, like, okay, so do you think, okay, obviously you would say yes, but do you think it's like right for someone to be like, I don't know, like the question I want to ask, like, okay, would you rather be mean to everyone and then be full of humility and know yourself and be humble? Would you rather be like nice to everyone and then not really like know yourself, if that makes sense?
For me, you gotta keep it real.
Yeah, I don't know, because of me, I'm a nice person, but I don't know, I feel like with the type of person I am, I would do the second option, but I would eventually find myself. But I don't know if that really answers the question or not. What would you guys do?
Repeat it again.
Would you rather like be mean to people and like not care for other people, but at the same time like have like be humble and like have humility and be like respectful of God? Or would you what did I say the second? Oh,
You said that.
You rather like,
be nice to everyone and not really know yourself.
I think I'll do the first option.
like be mean to everybody but humble yourself?
I think it'll be the second one.
Not like mean, I guess, but I'd be humble.
You should put a scenario.
I say the second one
That's a
because I know
situation.
later on I will find myself, so I can be nice and humble at the same time.
Mm, I mean, then again, you'll turn around. If you know God, you'll turn around for your badness or whatever.
Mhm.
So I think first option, you'll eventually turn around.
Yeah, I feel like, but even like if you knew like to humble yourself, you shouldn't really be mean to anybody
Yeah,
in
that's
the
the
first
case.
place.
If you know how to
Yeah,
humble
no,
yourself,
I was
you will
just
not.
giving like options.
Yeah, because there are some people like that.
Yeah. So, I keep forgetting what I want to say. It's making me mad.
Any scenarios on humility?
You had one, right?
Something. Oh, okay, yeah. So
What happened?
yeah, you say first.
Okay, so you know
Just
how like
comes up
we were
with
saying
these.
like humbling yourself, like respect comes a part of that too. Like you need to respect somebody.
Yeah.
What if someone is being like really rude to you? Do you like respect them and still like humble yourself, I guess, or do you just be rude back to them? Or what would you do?
Let's
What
do
would we
first.
do?
What would we do, and what's the right thing to do?
What I would do first is, right now, I don't
Think
know if I
about
want to
this
be petty or not, but
Think about this question. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm low key petty, so I don't know. But I think what I would do, I think I would just really brush it off and probably kind of be. I can be humble in this situation, but okay. I think I look key. I don't know. Would I come at them? I probably would come at them, but I don't think that's being humble. So yeah.
Well, with me, it depends how disrespectful the person is being. If it's like on a level that's really rude, then I feel like I might just like slightly go off and then like brush it off.
For me personally, okay, knowing the old me, I would have popped off in like 0.3 seconds. And then knowing me now, like, I'm not really the type to do, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the type to do that anymore. I would kind of just be like, okay, and brush it off. But like, I know, like, okay, the right thing to do. In my mind, I would want to do the right thing and just be like, it's okay, just be nice. But at the same time, I really just want to be like, oh, like, can you not? So I don't know. I guess like I would go off and not go off at the same time.
I think I'm with you on that.
Yeah, like you just don't know. Like you said, it depends on.
Okay, the person is being like really disrespectful.
Okay,
to
yeah,
you.
Really
they're done.
disrespectful.
They're
They're
done.
crossing a line. Then yeah,
They're done.
that's what I do. But
What would you
that's
do?
when pettiness will
Um,
actually come in. But
Mine, I'm not the type of person to go off crazy, but I'm the type of person that can say things, but
Put you in your place and
yeah,
check you.
but like not have to be loud with it, you know.
I wish I could do that.
yeah, you don't have to be
I wish I could
loud.
do that.
You don't have to. Sometimes
Like
lower
yelling in
voice
their face
help.
and all that.
Yeah.
Like, you
Me
have to
either. I think I'll be
remember-
respectful with it.
No, you could be humble with it. You could be like, "Hey, I didn't like what you did to me."
But
Okay,
realistically speaking,
I
knowing
know I
yourself-
would not do
Rachel.
that.
Yeah.
I know I
Realistically,
personally will not
Rachel.
do that. But you can be humble with it. You can be like, "Hey, I don't like what you're doing. I don't think this is what God would do."
Okay, we have to remember how Jesus acted and how Jesus was treated and how he acted when he was about to be put on the cross. We have to remember that he was treated terribly and he was spit on and all that bad stuff. But at the end of the day, like we know those people didn't have like we know those people weren't humble and they didn't have any humility and they weren't respectful of Christ or what it seems to be others. But Christ, he still stayed humble and he was nice and he didn't say anything. He just kept walking.
Yeah, that's how we should do. Humble.
So the correct thing to do would just to walk away.
But if you think about it,
yeah.
you know how like people get on your nerves on purpose to get under your skin and for you to show that. So the best thing to do is when you stay humble and calm, that shows that they don't phase you.
Yeah. It doesn't affect
That's
you.
true.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, well, I think with my scenario, something like that. I'm thinking, humbleness to God, thinking of God as a king or something. Or even a president. Let me say President Obama. Would you go up to President Obama and propose a law that go up to President Obama rudely and think with no respect or with no humbleness, just go up to President Obama and say, "Hey, I think all kids should vote." Do you think he'll listen to you?
No, because that's only
No.
one voice.
Not just because of that, but the way you came up to him, the way you tried to propose the law, that's what I'm saying. You didn't come with respect or humility. So do you think he'll listen to you?
No.
Same thing with God. If you don't come to God with humility or like the way you come towards God, if you don't really have any respect in him or anything, do you think he'll actually listen to you or try to actually answer your prayers, anything like that?
Probably not.
He won't, because that's not respectful.
True that.
That's a really good point.
So this time I have a question that actually makes sense. Okay, so so for people who are watching and like maybe don't really know how to be humble in like situations where they feel like they want to go off on somebody, how can we like give advice or help them to like, you know, stay calm, stay humble in like certain situations?
Well, if they're not doing anything beneficial for your life, then it should not matter. Like Angel said, it really shouldn't faze you nor bother you. I mean, but nowadays it really is hard to do that. But I feel like if you keep it in the back of your mind, then you should be fine.
What about you guys?
I agree with you.
Can you explain to us why you agree with her?
So actually, what she said was actually correct, because you have to stay calm, you have to stay humble, you have to stay pieced together, because if you blow apart, they're gonna be like stepping on you because
Be like, yeah, I got her mad.
no.
That was the end goal.
okay, so it's done. If you stay humble and low key brush it off, they're gonna get mad and they're gonna be
keep
like,
trying.
Yeah.
they're gonna keep trying, and they're the ones
And they're
who
wasting their
get
time.
I said irritated. They're the ones gonna be irritated. You're the one who's gonna be irritated if you blow off and just leave them walking off. If you walk off, you get them irritated, you win, and at the end of the day, like, it's done and over with.
Right.
So you know those people that are like, before they get like they're getting mad, but you know how they talk to themselves and like calm yourself down.
Like,
all that.
count to
What
10
if somebody
or
does? Yeah, like what if somebody doesn't know that? Like they don't think about talking to themselves and they just decide to blow up.
A lot
How
of
do
people
you-
are like that.
How do you calm them down?
Well, you should personally just give them advice and give them the word of God to help them out.
take them straight to God.
Personally, I don't mess myself with those situations. If you mad, you mad. Like, you mad? I'm not trying to help.
No, you need to help people.
That's
That's the right
true,
thing to
though.
do.
No, because some people just be blown off for no reason. Like, you trying to get some, like.
Rich, I understand what you're talking about though. Like in a
Some
way, I
don't
know
want
you're
help.
like talking crazy right now, but I low-key understand what you're talking about. You said like if you're mad, then you're mad. Because if you're mad, then you're mad, and you don't know how to stay humble. Like I don't know how to explain. I know what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
if you're mad, you're not affecting me. I'm staying humble. I'm staying peaceful. I'm not letting you get to me.
Yeah.
So if you're mad, then you're mad. I know what you're saying. Okay.
But the right thing to do. No, but I'm just saying, if someone, okay, let's say this is an incident that has happened more than once, like the person continuously goes off on you, and then one day, okay, yeah, one day they like start crying or something, and you see that they are in need of help. Are you gonna leave them there, or are you just gonna...
Personally, I don't even mess with them. I don't even go in that same
Then you are-
direction. Because I'm like, you probably really bipolar, so after crying,
Okay, let's just go with like
Of course.
what would you do realistically, and then what would
I have a
Yeah.
nice heart, so realistically, I'm gonna sit down with the person and
I don't
give them
mess with
advice.
that. I just be like,
what
what she's crying.
what I would like to do, which I know I can't do, but what I would like to do is just like what I would like to do is actually be nice, like you said, and talk to the person and be like, okay, you did wrong, but I can still forgive you. I'm not saying I'm not someone who can forgive, but it's not easy for me to go up to people
That's
and just be like,
actually
it's
good.
okay, it's okay, it's okay. Like that should happen because that's the right thing to do. Always forgive.
Just think about all those people
But
who work at the
still,
jail.
like
They have to do it.
what?
All the people have to work at jail. That's what they have to deal with, like the counselors and stuff. Some people actually come out okay because
I
of
don't know
how.
what you're talking about. Rachel.
I low-key
But
do,
like
I'm confused
I was
with
saying,
it.
But keep on going.
like I was saying, like okay, I know I would want to be like, okay, I'll stay humble and I'll be like full of respect for you because you're a person and I'll help you through your crying. But I know like, okay, I'm not really like that. So
See?
what would
I
what
kinda
would God
start-
want us to do?
Oh,
Let's
God
just go to
would
that
Hold
I
on.
want you to go over there and ask them what's wrong,
and talk to
hopefully-
them. Yeah.
and hopefully that changes their point of view towards you and makes them stop coming up to
And
you.
if you bring the word of God into it, you just might flip their life around.
What-
You know, Jehovah turn
yeah.
their life around and make them a Christian right there.
Oh
You
yeah.
that's
You know,
it.
so
What about that
You
one
know.
person
you
who climbed? What about that one story in the Bible? That one person climbed in a tree because Zacchaeus.
Zacchaeus or
Yeah, something like that. I said God. Jesus was walking by. He obviously knew that little boy had some problems.
He was a
So he
man.
went over there to talk to him. And he basically he helped him.
That's
Because
the
he
right
was
thing to do.
yeah, because he was trying to see God and trying to see Jesus, because that's how he climbed the tree. And he had problems too, but Jesus came up to him and tried to help him. That's at the end of the day, he got his problem solved because Jesus tried to help
Oh
him.
yeah. for
See?
sure.
So yeah, I agree that we have to try and help people. So at the end of the day, they could be happier, stuff like Zacchaeus and stuff. But
With me, I'm gonna automatically help the person because
that's good.
I don't know why.
Great for you, Shane.
Because I don't know why, like I get sympathy for people really easily. So if like someone's just sitting there crying, I'm not gonna just be like, okay, I'm not gonna help you because you're mean to me. I'm gonna help someone through that. I'm just really quick to forgive, and it can be a good thing, but sometimes a bad thing because the person can like stab me in the back multiple times, and I just keep forgiving them.
That's actually good.
That's good.
So
That's
what
such a
times
kind
of-
heart.
No, but like
so-
sometimes people just walk all
stuff
over
like that.
me.
I feel it like they take advantage of you.
Yeah.
Don't let that happen.
'Cause
but at least have
It's not that
humility,
you're
so-
too humble; they're just not humble at all. They
They're
don't
not
have
humble.
respect
You're
for
the
you.
humble one. So
Oh yeah.
So
you're
if-
really humble for forgiving like that. That's good.
Thanks. So if like we were saying earlier, if like the person continuously bullies you, blah blah blah, and then one day they just break down crying, and you go over it and you decide to help them, what are you get like? What advice are you gonna give to
Well,
them?
probably something's wrong with them. Like maybe something's going on at home.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Like bullies and stuff, like they don't really have like a specific problem with you. It's usually something like that's going on in their life, and they don't know which other ways like how to like deal with it. So they result into like picking on other people because I guess it makes them feel better, but it's only in that moment.
Right. So you're saying like what advice would we give to someone who's like a bully and crying? Okay. So what I would like to do is go up to them and ask them. The one thing I would not ask them is, "Are you okay?" Because clearly they're not okay if they're
I hate when
crying.
people do that. Like
That's
I'm
weird.
obviously crying. You're gonna be like, "Are you okay?"
I would go up to them, ask them like, "What's wrong? Like, how can I help you? Like, I know you kind of upset me in the past, but I can forgive you and move on from that and stay humble." Right? Okay. And move on from that, and I can help you with your situation and then build off from there. And if I'm lucky, I can bring God into it. Bang.
That's good.
You know.
What would you do, Rachel?
I already explained.
What would you do, Angel?
Go over there, ask them what the problem is. Hopefully, it's not something too serious, and then guide them through and tell them how they could solve that problem,
Yeah.
and hopefully change their mindset.
I like that.
Some people really like when you help them and stuff, it means a lot to them. Like I remember there was this one girl that I didn't even really know her. I just knew her from a website, let's just say. And like she was posting all this like really depressing stuff, talking about she wanted to kill herself and blah blah blah. And all these people were like, just do it because you're so rude and blah blah blah.
Oh,
Yeah. So she tried to do it too, but I talked to her and like I helped
I
her out.
remember that.
Because yeah, like that's not right. Because like the same people that do that type of stuff, like, oh, you can go. Those are the same people that care the most and be like, oh, rest in peace. So I talked to her and I helped her through her problems, and she was like, yeah, that means a lot because no one really like helps.
Cares.
Yeah.
Aw.
So when you like talk to people, it really does mean a lot to them.
Sometimes people don't listen when they talk. But yeah, talk to them.
It's gonna come back and like haunt them, like something happens, and then they'll be like, oh, I remember when that person talked to me and said this and this and that.
And that's actually nice.
We're
Good
sitting
job.
here staring at the phone like we don't have any calls.
Oh, we didn't say
We
the
didn't even
number.
say the number.
So if you want to call in, the number is 614-577-1434. Again, 614-577-1434. Or if you want to call, the second number is 614-577-1464. Again, 614-577-1464. but why do the most? Just call the first number. And
also listen on Bepo Concro Live or YouTube. You know how to spell it by now.
No.
VEPO.
Cron.
Concron. Sundays.
Isn't
Okay.
it KRON?
KRON. Yeah.
Well, I'm Angel.
We didn't even introduce ourselves. Wow.
You don't even know who these people are because they haven't been here forever. But anyway.
Hey,
What do you mean?
My name's Myra.
Rachel.
I'm Sharice.
Angel.
And we are.
Holy Tins.
Not everybody.
We're so behind today. What's going on? We're so mixed up.
Okay,
Okay.
we're going on break.
We should go on break.
Lift your worship now. Your desire. Is it your desire? Do you want more? I want more. I am yours, you are mine. Take my heart and my mind. Open the eyes of my heart, reveal yourself, Lord. I want you, it's my desire. I am yours, you are mine. Take my heart and my mind. Open the eyes of my heart, reveal yourself, Lord. I want you, it's my desire. Oh, you are my desire. Oh, you are my desire. You are my desire. You are my desire. Hear this song from our hearts. We want more. Open our minds. Let us understand the sentiments of your heart. Pour out your spirit, Lord. Anybody got a song from your heart to God? Let us understand the sentiments of your heart. Pour out your spirit, Lord. You are my desire. You are my desire. Come on, that's how we're saying. Oh, you are my desire. Come on, lift your hands if it's your desire. Yeah. is your desire? Oh, we want more of you. We want more. We want more. We want more of you, Jesus. There's only so much we can say. We want more. You come into our hearts, Jesus. Have your way. Have your way, oh God. Have your way, oh God. Have your way, oh God. More of you is what we need, oh God. We cry out on this night, February 28th. God, we desire to have more of you. But listen, we're living in the last and evil days, God, but we know we can't go wrong with more of you. God, we're struggling in our minds, God, but we can't go wrong with more of you. Oh God, we say yes in our hearts, yes in our minds. Search our hearts, search our minds, make us right, oh God. Make us right, God. Don't allow us to just adapt to a tradition, God, but we want more of you. More of you, oh God. More of you, Jesus. Some of us really want to live quiet lives. And we know if we have more of you, then you lead us in the direction that we must go. From the rising of the sun to the going down of the same low run, you will be my God forever and ever. Yeah, you will be my Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nissi, Jehovah Shammah, Jehovah. You are the Most High. Jehovah, Jehovah, Lord, the Most High, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, the mighty one of Israel. You are the Most High God. When I think of your goodness, oh Lord, I just want to lift my hands and praise your name. Lord, you brought me up from the miry clay. You set my feet on the rock to stay. Jehovah, 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 Lord, mighty, mighty one, and the Lord of the Lord. You are the Most High King. Lord, I worship you. You are the Most High God. Let's praise the Lord with a guitar.
Welcome back to Holy Hills Radio Teens Edition.
He's back.
I'm your host, co-host, Angel.
I'm Sharice.
Rachel.
I'm gonna say that louder.
Rachel.
Myra.
And we kind of flipped the topic a little bit, and we're seeing how forgiveness relates to humbleness. So what is forgiveness to you guys?
Forgiveness to me is to forgive and accept someone again for the wrongdoings that they have done to you.
Oh.
To let go and just let everything be loose and everything just clean slate.
I love the clean slate.
Forgiveness is to forgive.
I love the clean slate metaphor. So
I really don't like you guys right now.
but it's just a clean slate. Like somebody has done you wrongdoing. You're going to forgive them. So you forget about that wrong. See if you did something wrong to them. So yeah, I like that. Just a clean plate with them. Forgiveness. Slates.
Yeah, clean slate.
What I think forgiveness is simply letting go and letting God. So it sounds like okay. So letting go and letting God. So okay, I know like you did me wrong in the past, you hurt me, you upset me, I don't want to like let go of this, but I'm gonna let go and let God. So just let go and let God. I feel like that's what forgiveness is, letting go of what that person has done and giving it to God for him to deal with on his own.
I love that.
When I think of forgiveness, I think of the word mercy, giving mercy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
That's strong.
oh,
Wow.
that goes deeper. Mercy. I love that as a name.
Would
too.
you like to elaborate on that?
Oh, so I would say mercy is not holding grudges, basically. Not holding
Right.
grudges
Ugh.
against
Like
someone.
having mercy on that
Yes.
person. Yeah.
And people
Yeah.
go even deeper when they're trying to have God forgive them. They say, God, have mercy on me.
Right.
Have mercy
So
on my
that-
soul.
Oh my soul.
But so I would say that do you guys believe that there's two different types of forgiveness? Like forgiveness against like God, asking for forgiveness, and forgiveness to others.
That's
Yeah.
a really good hard question.
I mean, I think they should be the same thing.
Yeah, they're all categorized in the same thing, but I just feel like it's different. I don't know, because I think it's two different things,
I
but
think
it's still
the same
forgiveness.
thing. I think forgiveness is forgiveness. Like the type of forgiveness God has for us, that's the forgiveness that we should have for others. Like,
Oh, it's like a cycle. Like
yeah.
you ask God to forgive you, but you gotta forgive someone else. Like
that's true.
I feel like there's only one.
I think there's one type of forgiveness.
Because forgiveness is simply forgiveness. And in the Bible, in Matthew 6, verse 14 through 15, it says, if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. So I feel like it's the same, because if God's going to forgive you, if God's not going to forgive you unless you forgive someone else, then it can't be two different things.
Like why should people forgive you when you don't forgive others?
Right.
exactly.
Like kind of being a hypocrite,
I think
guess.
that's how God is interpreting it in that specific scripture.
Oh yeah. Why should God forgive you if you don't want to forgive your brother that stole your cookies?
Like, why should God help you if you don't want to help others?
Yeah.
And why should you be blessed if you don't want to bless others?
I think this all kind of relates to, in a way, holding grudges, because that is a part of the forgiveness process. You have to let go of the grudge and just have a clean slate, like I said earlier. So I know for some people, not me, because it's easy for me to forgive. Like it's very hard for some people to let go of stuff. I don't know why.
I think it's sometimes from where they come from, like their background or something.
Like what they've been taught to.
What they've been taught.
and
like
personal experience.
Yeah, definitely personal experience, like past experiences. Like, people have done this to me in the past, so it's like made my mindset to be like, oh, I don't forgive you and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I was watching a show on the television, and and this girl was talking about how like so many people have backstabbed her in the past that like if it's hard for her to make friends. So like when she does make friends, she gets into altercations with them really easily because.
Anyways,
Wait.
She gets into altercations really easily because I guess like the slightest thing that someone does that is I guess offensive to her, she takes it as a threat of someone backstabbing her because of everything she's been through. I guess like the signs.
That's like all she knows.
And she can't really help it because just personal experience.
and that's all she's been taught too.
Okay, so what would you guys say on like is there any steps to forgiving someone?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of these steps.
I think like let me say first step.
So
totally
let's give a
for.
guide. Step 1, step 2, step 3. If there
I think-
is.
Okay, it's probably gonna be out of order, but then we can reorganize it.
I think like one of the steps is totally forgetting about what they did.
I feel like not totally forgetting, but
accepting. that they did
accepting.
that.
Okay, yeah, they did that, and then taking it day by day, praying to God, asking Him to help you to get over it.
Yeah.
I think that sums it up.
Just marinating on it, and just
You and this vocabulary. Okay.
You didn't know what to do.
So
But anyways.
I want to ask a question, but I don't know like if it's a question you guys want to answer. But like, are there any like times in your life where like you've had a hard time, maybe like forgiving someone or dealing with forgiving, like having someone even forgive you for something maybe that you've done? Like, are there any times in your life maybe that's happened?
like someone forgiving you or you forgiving someone.
Both.
Either way.
Like you just have to deal with forgiveness in general.
No, with
Cause I have fun.
forgiving, like I know I don't have a hard time forgiving someone, but I had a friend who thought that I did something to her that I didn't, and so it was hard for her to forgive me, even though I told her I didn't. She thought I did because a friend had told her that I did something.
Well, for me, you see, I was in the first grade and I had this friend. Like, she was my best friend and we did everything together. And so there was this one day after we took like a small quiz over like addition or whatever. And I remember like we were just like, we weren't doing anything. And so she was like, okay, let's play hair salon. And first grade, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, yeah, we're going to have so much fun. You're going to do my hair and I'm going to leave looking pretty. Yay. So, I'm just sitting there in this chair and this girl cuts my hair.
Hey.
I don't know what was happening. I remember I was just sitting there and I heard scissors and I was just like, yeah, go ahead. Like, I wasn't even thinking until I looked and I was like really upset with her. And it took me a really long time to forgive this girl. Mind you, this was like my best friend. So I wanted to forgive her, but it was like the front of my hair is gone. Like, I really wanted to forgive her. And it took me like, I think like a year or two.
At least you eventually, but yeah, you.
It took me a really long time because I really wanted to wait until my hair grew to forgive her.
Oh,
But
I think I have a scenario. Same thing with first grade. A lot of stuff happens with your kid, but yeah, I was at school and we were taking this one test.
Very similar to ours.
Okay, but we were taking this one test, and I guess she was my close friend because we was playing along. I was playing along with her, but we were taking this one test. So at first, she started looking at my paper. I was like, okay, so are we staring at answers now or something? So I looked over at hers. It was just going back and forth,
like you ever cheating on each other.
And looking. This girl raises her hand and says, I'm cheating on her.
You're cheating on
I'm the one who's cheating on her.
Well,
Wait,
let's
what
not
does
even-
technically- what
Rachel,
does she mean by that?
But the thing is, you started it.
Yeah, I know, but let's like you both were now
You started
because
it.
you decided to join into this little.
It was
play.
a game. I was like,
know, Rachel.
hey, okay, look back. Okay, I can look back now. Okay, it was a
I
game.
understand.
It was a fun game, And then this girl raises her hand and says, I'm the one cheating on her.
Excuse me, Rachel, cheating on me.
Exactly.
That low-key happened to me too. I was taking a test in 7th grade and this girl asked me, no, but it was like I was absent and I was in the hallway making it up. And this girl asked me a question like, where do we turn this in at or something? And I told her. And a teacher walked out just when I was telling her what to do. And she went in the classroom and told the teacher I was sharing my answers with her.
Oh, I remember that too.
I was like,
Yeah.
what? Like she was done. I was like on the first page.
Did you ever forgive that teacher?
Yeah, but it's very hard for me to like her.
I know I don't like her. It's okay.
But going back to my thing, yeah, so I got detention. I think I got a school suspension. But
Rachel, you were in first grade.
I got ISS.
They do that to first graders.
At my school. But anyways, I got ISS. But as a little kid, you go back to your old friends and you be playing with them and stuff. So I think
just forgave her.
I just forgave her like that because I think with kids it's easier to forgive.
Well,
Because
for
kids don't really
me,
know much. Yeah.
Mhm.
my best friend, she like something happened between us, and our like she was the closest friend I had. I knew her since like second grade. We're still friends now, but something happened, and she told me to forgive her, and I wanted to forgive her because like when you really actually like somebody, you actually forgive them. Like let's
Yeah.
say you like family. It's hard. You can't say that you don't forgive them because they're your family.
Family, right? The
Yeah.
blood.
So when you actually like somebody, you forgive them for whatever they do, and they probably would forgive you for the same things that you do to them.
It's very true. I have a scenario. Okay, so what if somebody kills one of your family members?
Hey.
Are you gonna forgive them?
Hey,
Like, are you
this
gonna
one is
forgive-
a hard burden.
like they're your friend too.
Oh, the
Hey.
person that killed your family is your friend?
The person that killed, is your friend.
Shay.
I watched something similar like this on YouTube.
Okay, like
it was a story.
what if they gave them the flu or something and
What is-
no.
Sherry,
Okay,
stop.
okay, they killed your family. Like, yeah.
It was somewhat similar to her because apparently her cousin killed her best friend.
Whose cousin?
The person I was watching YouTube. Her cousin killed her best friend and killed herself. But yeah, everybody was saying that her cousin was the murderer, but she didn't believe it. All that extra stuff. But I don't know. She was saying, who should I forgive in this point? Because she's saying her best friend pressured the cousin into murdering both of them.
I don't even
Into
know.
killing him and
Yeah,
herself?
yeah.
Oh.
That's what she's saying. But it's like, who should she forgive in this situation? Because who killed who?
My mind right now. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
So back to the scenario. You. Back to the scenario. You
When
know.
I have brought up the thing, I meant to say like they accidentally killed them.
Oh, wait.
Like I wasn't. Yeah, I was trying to say like they didn't mean to kill.
Or
them.
Most of the time it's not.
Accidentally, I would forgive if they didn't do it like if they did it on purpose. I would be upset. Like you just killed my family, but it would take me a while to forgive them, and I would eventually have to forgive them.
But
one
think
way or
about who
another.
it was. What if it was like your mom?
Your
Someone
mom
that's
killed-
closest.
Like
No, the person killed.
Oh.
That's harder to.
I'd
forgive
eventually
for
have to
people.
forgive them.
Yeah, eventually.
You'd eventually have to like over time. You'd have to like not forget about it, but you'd have to like accept it and like just forgive them because that's the right thing to do.
And what are the steps you can take to do so?
You brought them up earlier, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying if you guys
Let's just
remember.
repeat it.
It was accept it and then day by day pray and then talk to God and you'll eventually forgive.
Good.
I like that.
Well, back to forgiving. We never really made like a complete list.
What,
And so what do you mean?
Like, didn't you guys say like the steps to forgiving someone? We need to make a list.
Okay, let's just repeat it again.
Oh, we already made the list.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
said
basically what
step
we
one
just
and
said.
step 2, day by day pray. Step 3, you'll eventually forgive.
Oh.
So for all of you out there listening and maybe having a hard time forgiving someone for what they've done to you, you can just accept that it happened because the past is the past and there's no going back to it. And then from there you can move on and forgive that person and just work on your forgiving.
That's true. If you're ever having a problem, always go to God to help you because He's gonna end up helping you and help. Yeah, He'll always help you. God's always the answer. So, does anyone have any key points?
How should your attitude be towards someone who hurt you?
Humility.
Can we split it up again? Like what
Mhm.
realistically you would do and then what the right thing is to do.
But what if someone like, let's say, someone put you in a wheelchair, like made you
Yo.
paralyzed?
Oh,
Personally, I will run over that person with my wheelchair. but
I hear the things that come out of your mouth is
Oh
too
my.
it's humility. Let's go back to humility. What are we supposed to do? Like how? Like,
No, realistically, I would not let the person know that I'm upset about it. I'd be like, it's fine, but deep down I'll be hurt.
That you're in the wheelchair.
Yes.
You don't even do anything if you're in the wheelchair.
I'm not gonna run them over.
Like Rachel would. Okay. So, yeah, realistically, I'd be irritated. Like, yo, I'm in a wheelchair. Like, I'm hurt. Like, I probably am paralyzed and can't move. I'd be upset. But you know, in God's realistic way, I would have to forgive and be like, you know, it's okay. The past is the past. Yeah, I'm like messed up, but that's too bad. Like I gotta accept it and I just gotta forgive them.
What if they're being rude about it, being like,
Well,
they're making fun of it too.
Like,
What if they're making fun of
Or
it
they
too?
did it on purpose.
And they did it on
yeah,
purpose.
and they're like, I already said sorry, so just deal with it.
Oh, I've never met anybody like that.
No, but I'm just saying, like, what if someone were to do that? Would you still forgive them?
I would definitely feel like, okay, realistically, I would not check them in a correct way, but I know that I would have to check them and be like, what you're doing is wrong. This is not a godly type of way to approach the situation.
And they just laugh at your face. But yeah.
What do you? Oh, I felt so much.
I
can't
can't
believe
believe
you
you
run them
over though.
Huh?
I can't believe you run them
Like,
over.
it won't even go. Like, it won't even really.
Yes, it will. You'd be like,
down the hill.
okay, maybe they're down the hill. I'm just the battle is not mine. That's what I think. It's the
Leave it
Lord.
to God.
Leave it
Just
to
leave it to
God.
God. Because the battle is
Yes.
yours.
Leave
At the end of
it
the
to
day,
God.
the battle is not yours. The battle is for
God
God.
will eventually forgive them.
I saw this one picture and it said, okay, so I remember I was scrolling through something and I saw this picture and it said, remember, I need a moment to collect my thoughts.
Remember?
It was something like really, really inspiring. It was like, the devil is not God's enemy because the devil was an angel. And so, and like the devil equals like Michael, like if you guys know what I'm saying, because Michael was an
another
angel.
angel?
Yeah. So I'm saying like, okay, the devil's battle isn't God's battle because, you know, the devil is trying to, like, he's mad at God, so he's doing whatever. So devil's battle isn't God's battle. So why should you try and have your battle be your battle when it isn't your battle? I know what I'm trying to say. I just can't word it. Yeah.
I get it.
What I'm trying to say is it isn't your battle. Just leave it to God. That's it.
At the end of the day, yes, it's humility. You have to leave everything to God. It's not always by force for you to do something. It's God's it's his battle at the end of the day because he was doing he knows what he's doing. He did this. He made you in a wheelchair on purpose or something. Like
Maybe.
for real. Like this is for a purpose.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So to branch off of what Rachel said about at the end of the day, it's not your battle. Like there's nothing you can do about it. God knows what he's doing for everyone. God knows what he's doing. Like he's in control. He knows how to do this, when to do this. So you can't try and fight a battle that isn't like your size or it isn't suited for you. Size? So just forgive them and then move it on and leave it to God, and God will deal with it because that's not your position.
Keep willing yourself.
That's what you did there.
What?
Keep willing yourself,
Rachel. Okay, so to wrap things up, just key points about humility and forgiveness. You guys want to go ahead?
Always leave stuff to God, and it's important to not be prideful. Humble yourself, respect people and respect God, respect others around you. And yeah.
Forgiving is key because once you forgive others, it releases stress off of you and it makes you feel better when you know that you've forgiven someone.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. Because I know, like, whenever I'm going through something and I just, like, I tell God, like, I don't want to deal with this no more. Mm-hmm. So you just take it, like, I feel like something's been lifted off my chest. Like, a burden's been lifted off of me. So, like, to wrap up, basically, don't be boastful. Don't brag about whatever you have. Be grateful. Be humble. Ground yourself. Comport yourself. And know how to learn. If you don't know, learn how to forgive others. And just leave everything to God. Because in the end, God knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Rachel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
in conclusion, I agree with all your beautiful topics. But anyways, I think in the end, it's always God's battle, and it's not in your place to fight for something that's too big for you. And you should always remember to be humble and that you're not the only person in the world, that there are things bigger than you. Mm-hmm. And yeah, always let God fight for you. So yeah.
And I think that like the more you humble yourself, the more God will lift you up.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
He will lift you up.
Hallelujah.
He will lift
You
Hallelujah. Humble yourself before the Lord. He will lift you up.
We're done now. Thank
Anyway.
you for listening. No one called.
Tune in next week at
6:30.
6:30 to 7.
30.
Wait,
6:30 to whatever time we end.
Wait, what time do we start?
6:30.
6:30. 6:30.
To whatever time we end.
And then the topic next week will
The announcements.
And make sure you call in. We like to hear from you guys.
Call your mothers, friends, brothers, aunts, baby.
What?
Call in.
Like I was saying, we like to hear from you guys and hear what's going on in your life and if you need help and even if you have advice to give us. So definitely call
I like
in.
that.
or just calling in to say hi.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye.